Hey guys, thought I'd just give y'all a little walk around up here at the farm. I always like to do that at least every month because I do come up here every other weekend. We'll just start off back here. Start off back here. Did a lot of mowing yesterday. So here's the pasture. I actually mowed all of this. Believe it or not, I used the Ford Golden Jubilee on this. It was actually quite high. I wasn't even sure if that little tractor would do it, and it actually did. I probably should have used the John Deere 5065E. It probably would have did it a little bit better. Because even out here, there's some hard objects, lots of big sticks, twigs. There's even a rock right there. I actually avoided that because I was definitely running over a bunch of them. And that's the neighbors. That's a barndominium. Y'all really don't get to see much of the pasture. So this is it right here after it's all been mowed. Yeah, because I think all of this, I should have used the John Deere 5065E on all this, because there's a bunch of sticks and stuff. But to me, I find that the brush hog on the Ford Golden Jubilee, it cuts a lot better. So it looks really good. Looks like I could have trimmed some of this, but my dad usually does all that, but my dad is not up here. Still need to do some trimming on this tree, but it's just been too hot to do all that. I'll just wait sometime in the fall or in the winter when we get cooler weather. So just right now, I'm currently getting my truck all loaded up because I am about to head home. I didn't really drive this truck at all since I was up here. I did run it for a little bit on Saturday. Here's the Ford Golden Jubilee. See, I just scraped off some of the grass that was up here on top of the brush hogs. I just don't want this thing to get all rusted out. This ain't really my grandfather's brush hog. It's originally my uncle's, but my grandfather actually did have one, but it's actually sitting way over there. Yeah, it's right there, but it's broken. So this used to be my uncle's brush hog, but he had since then gave it to my grandfather. Of course, got everything all put away because I've been actually using the John Deere 5065E, just mainly with using the front end loader, because there's been some clumped up grass clippings. I've been catching them with this lawn sweeper. I've been attaching this to the John Deere D140, and what I would do, I would dump all the clippings into a pile, and then I will put all those pile of clippings, I'll load them onto the bucket on the John Deere 5065E, and I'll dump them out over to the field, right, not exactly into the field, but over into the, right at the very edge of the field. And I can show y'all on where I dump those clippings at. It's just straight ahead over here. Yeah, just right here. We'll take a little walk over here. You can actually see the field has now been plowed. See, last month a local farmer who happens to be a friend of my grandparents actually has been using this as baling hay. And let's see, sometime last month I just happened to have been here just to see the guy actually with the tractor and his baler, seeing him bale hay, which was actually pretty cool. So here's all this pile of grass clippings. This was from last month, and then this was all from yesterday. Could probably turn this into a compost pile. Yeah, so the field looks pretty good. See, here's the old brush hog. See, my grandfather would used to attach it to the Farmall H, but ever since he had bought the John Deere 5065E, he had been attaching it to that tractor. So this probably would have worked out a little bit better over in that little area of the pasture. Then here's the old John Deere disc plow. Well, it's been sitting here for quite a while. I'm not sure the last time it had been since my grandfather had actually used this plow. I would say probably 3 years ago, which would have been that time, the very first time I drove the John Deere 5065E. My grandfather had me plow this field, which that was the very last time that I was up here when he was still alive. And I do remember that was a hot, humid day. And the nice thing about being in that tractor, it was nice and cool inside. So pretty much this plow doesn't get used anymore. And let's go back into the barn. And I just got to load up my blower and these 2 gas cans because they're both empty. Just because there's a gas station on the way home that sells non-ethanol gas, which that's what I prefer to use. Not just in the lawnmowers, but also in these old tractors. See, this diesel can is empty and this one is still full, which we're actually good on diesel because the diesel fuel tank in this tractor, it's full. So we got enough diesel for it. So both of the lawn tractors are working great. The Farmall F20, it's been running pretty good because I've been running it almost every day since I've been up here, just except for today. And I'm just now getting around to doing some stuff on the Farmall M. I did have a problem with fuel flowing because when I went to turn on the fuel valve and then opened up the drain plug on the bowl of the carburetor, no fuel was coming out. So I pulled that sediment bowl off and it was all dirty and filthy. And the little center hole from where all the fuel would come out and into the sediment bowl, it was all clogged up. So I took the air gun on the air compressor, just blew it, sprayed some carburetor cleaner, and got it all unclogged, and it's working now. And I drained some of the gas out of it. I still got to drain more gas out of it, but I just don't have time to do it right now, but I'll do that next time. And here's the fuel that came out of it. Boy, look at that. That's actually a lot darker than the fuel that came out of the F20. But even though this tractor had sat just as long as this one, I don't know how I managed to have better luck with the F20. I was hoping I would have just as good of a luck with this one as I did with that one, but nope, that wasn't the case. But fortunately, as you can see, there's no water, so that's actually a good thing that there was no water in the fuel tank. So I'm really happy about that. So what I will do this next time, I'll drain the rest of the fuel, drain the rest of the old fuel out of the fuel tank, and then I'll put some fresh gas in, and then I will drain it out again until I see nothing but just clean, fresh gas that'll come out of it, and then I'll put the sediment bowl all back together and see if I'll get any fuel flowing through the carburetor. And I think what I might do is get my little portable jump starter. I'll probably hook it up to the terminals after I would take this battery out, and then I'll see if the tractor will even crank over. I'll probably try that first before I even try to see if it'll even start. Hopefully it will. As far as these other 3 tractors, I don't know. This one had been setting for, oh my gosh, maybe 18, 19, or maybe 20 years. I don't know. I know it's set for a long time. And even this one too. This has always been a good running tractor because my uncle rebuilt the engine, but I don't know how long it had been since it had last ran, and I know it hadn't moved in a long time either. I think whenever the last time my grandfather had attempted to get this tractor out, it wouldn't move. My grandfather suspected that the clutch is stuck on this tractor. And then I do know that the Farmall Cub has also sat for 8 years, which was back in 2012. But I did suspect, look at here, there's a bit of rust built up here on the gas cap, and even, well, right here, which to me, that's not a good sign. I have a feeling there might possibly be water in the fuel tank of this tractor. So I'm not really worried about getting it running. The ones I'm just more worried about is, of course, the F20, which it's now running, and then the Farmall M, because I would like to get it running just so I can get this tractor out and drive it around. And this tractor, it's been working okay. Well, actually, I meant to say it's been working good. It's got over 67 hours on it. I think the hour meter said 67.5, so 67 and a half hours. I'm not so sure. I don't have the keys with me. And I did have a problem with this air compressor. Well, when I was up here this past winter, it made an awful noise, and I didn't even realize that the belt had actually came off of it. And there's the cover for it. And here was the old belt. I had put it back on. Well, actually, it was my uncle that did all that. But I did order a new belt for it. I think what may have happened, was that belt was just so worn, it must have slipped off while it was running. And I even had a problem of it actually slipping off whenever I would kick the compressor on. And then I would just slip it back on, and it would work okay. But I put this new belt on, and I haven't had any issues with it ever since. So I'm gonna let some air out of it, and I'll kick it on. It's probably going to take a while. I really wish I had this compressor at home, but unfortunately, it's got a 220 outlet, and I don't have a 220 outlet at home. But other than that, this is a really good compressor. This compressor is probably at least well over 35 years old. I have done a video on this compressor several years back. This is what it is, Sears Craftsman. Well, it says Craftsman right there, but you can't see it. And there's the model number. It's a 2 horsepower, and this is a 20-gallon tank. Okay, let's see if it'll kick on. And yeah, no problem. Just except I just gotta be really careful that these hoses don't get right here to the actual pulley. So I think that'll do it. So I think I'm gonna finish up packing and head home. And I still gotta do a lawn cutting video at home. So I don't know if I'll do that today or just wait and do it this weekend. I don't know for sure. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And so, thanks for watching.